Hi. Okay, thanks for having me. And yeah, hi everyone. I'm Martha. So today I'm gonna talk about how to implement gRPC in Android. So yeah, this is a little bit my introduction. I'm a founder and a CEO at HiColleagues. So HiColleagues is a startup company in Indonesia. So yeah, I'm also working as a senior backend developer in a number second logistic company in Indonesia too. And yeah, I've been working for about 7 years in IT industry. And actually, I love learning new things, and then I love share my knowledge to everyone. And yeah, I have implemented several programs with using Java, Delphi. Yeah, Delphi is an old programming language that I ever use it, and yeah, but it's been a long time. I've never used that anymore, and I use Golang for the backend. I use Kotlin, Swift for the iOS, and Flutter, Vue.js. And then I actually have several projects and then one of them is Android app. Mm, my team and I have built Android apps with implementing gRPC on those applications. So one application is for teacher, one is for students. So yeah, let's move on to the next slide. So what is gRPC? gRPC is a modern open source high performance remote procedure call framework that can run in any environment. So gRPC is developed by Google in 2015. So that's why the name is gRPC, Google RPC. And then you can efficiently connect services in and across data centers with pluggable support for load balancing, tracing, and health checking and then authentication. So when we look at this picture, there is one server and then two clients. Even can be more clients. But between them, they communicate with proto file. So for the make request, you have to have a proto file, and then the response should be in proto too. And yeah, there are several advantages of using gRPC. And yeah, first, high performance along with safety. So gRPC is high performance with Google Protobuf and HTTP2 protocol, which is multiplex, single TCP connection, transport data as binary, enables duplex streaming or etc. And then duplex streaming. So with duplex streaming, that means allows client side and service streaming simultaneously. And then first-class load balancing. gRPC has built-in library feature. It can intelligently pick which backend to send traffic to. And the last is auto-generated client code. So gRPC have a proto. So with proto, we can easily generate the client code and server code. And also in gRPC have several disadvantages. So gRPC is different with REST API. So gRPC there are no endpoints and cannot be tested by Postman or with Postman or Cool to check the response. So we can imagine that the REST API you have to have like the endpoint and then the header for the authentication and then maybe the body, right? And in gRPC, you cannot just know about the endpoint or the request, but you have to have a profile. So there is a contract between backend and the client. Yeah, and then the second is you must update the proto if there is a changes in server. So let's say in the backend there is a changing uh, proto file, maybe data type or maybe name of fields in proto file. From the backend, they have to send an updated proto to front end or mobile apps. So yeah, and then so this is the differences between REST API and gRPC. So gRPC has designed in HTTP2, but in REST API, they still in HTTP 1.1. And then for the format, messaging format, gRPC is using protobuf or protocol buffers, but in REST APIs still using JSON or XML and others. But and then in the gRPC, they use a code generation, so that means native proto compiler. But REST API can be used third-party solution like a Swagger. And then the communication, gRPC use a unary client request or bi-directional or streaming, but the REST API only client request only. And then, yeah, this is a comparison of different serialization schemes. So actually, XML and JSON are similar comparison, but it's different in the processing speed. So yeah, proto is unreadable data. It's not for browser consumable or GS support, and then proto is hard to robustly decode without knowing the scheme. So like look at this processing speed. So yeah, XML is lower than JSON. So that means XML is lower than JSON, and then the JSON is lower or less than proto, and that means JSON is lower than proto, but proto is higher than JSON and XML. So that means proto has is faster than JSON and XML for the processing speed. And also proto is cheap. And for the interface, proto using RPC. Okay, and then for the validation, they use validation are easy with keywords. Okay, next. So who's using gRPC? So Netflix, Medium, 9gag, Slack, Square, Microsoft, Cisco, and many more have already using gRPC. And yeah, I will show you the code. Okay, I will close this. I think you cannot see the left side, this one. So actually, you have to go to build Gradle level application. So first of all, you have to add some dependencies in Android Studio. So here, this one is the dependencies you have to add. Okay. And then you have to add this code. Like this one, it's for generate the proto file here. Okay, after that, we change the view in the from the Android to the project. So I think, yeah, you cannot see this one. In this application package, we can expand this package, and then you can expand in its RC and then expand the main package, and then you have to like create a new package, okay, and then you can name it maybe proto or something similar with proto. Okay, when we open this, there are several proto files. So let's say I will show you the account.proto. Okay, so this is the proto file looks like. Actually, as a mobile developer, we don't need to think about how to create a proto file, because a proto file it should be created by developer, a backend developer. Okay, and as a mobile developer, must understand how what this is mean, or what does it mean. Yeah. So this one, there are several RPC. Okay. So let's say I use account login. So that means for login function, right? So they have a login request and then the return for the response. So when we look at this login request, okay, they use message like this: data type, the name of field, and then this one is number. This one same, but in the developer, I mean like in the backend side, if they want to maybe add something, add more fields, they have to like this one string, maybe example equals 3, like this. But we cannot edit this as a mobile developer because it's only for backend side. Okay. So yeah, I think for the login request is like this, and then the simple response is the format is like this. There is a message, and then account login response. Account login response, that means here. Let me see. Yeah, there is an ID, email, token, HP, phone number, birthday, picture, and many more. Okay, so after you have a proto file, you change the Android view, okay, and when we look at this, okay, you have to, this one, build, go to the build, and then first of all, you have to clean project, and after you clean the project, you have to rebuild the project. That means the proto file will be automatically generated. Okay, and how do you know, or how do we know is the proto file is generated? We can look at this. There is a Java generated package here. So this one, it should be there when you clean the project and then rebuild the project. So here, when I expand here, and there is here, yeah, in here there is an account service gRPC. So we cannot edit this file because this file is generated. Okay, so yeah, after you generated the file, we take a look in the package Java, and then I put in the data services and a user service. Okay, so yeah, first of all, oh, sorry, I forgot something. You have to set gRPC first. Here, where? Here. So you have to create a gRPC class, and then the function name is, yeah, it's up to you. And then this one, the manage channel builder for the address. You can put the address here and then the port. Okay, and then yeah, just using this code, execute, use plain text, and then build. After you create this class, you can use this class in this service. I name it a user service. Okay, and then I create a variable name is top, and then account service gRPC. This one and this one, it should be there when you after you generate the code. So this one, account service gRPC. When I click this one is from generated code account service gRPC. Okay, just code like this, and then you can here maybe login. Okay, so I have a parameter named user, and then data type is login request. So why is login request? Because in this proto file account, we back to this file for the RPC account login, they have to assign the login request here message login request, and then the return should be in simple response. So that's why in user service here login request dot builder, okay, and then the return should be in simple response. And then after that we can create the channel, and then this one gRPC. This class is here that I've created, and then yeah, just using account gRPC services to new blocking, and then put the channel, okay, and then request login request. So login request dot new builder set email and then set password dot build. Why there is a set email and set password? Even we didn't set the model, right? Because the login request, when we look at this, it should be with a generated file. So this one, email and password. So email and password here should be SMS like profile, like a login request, like email and the password. So when when the backend side adds more field, maybe example, when you generate the code, this one it should be same. There is automatically will add example same like that. So you cannot edit this. So we delete this, and let's go back to this. Yeah. After you set the request, you have to call the response. So for the call the response is like this: stop dot account login. So account login should be imported by here because the name is account login, so that's why it's account login. If it's account sign up or account update password or update profile, same. Yeah. Maybe if I change like account what, you can change to get more. So, but you have to be same request like this one. Account get more. The data type for the request is different because account get more. When we look at this profile, account get more. The request is an empty request, so it doesn't send a message. So yeah, If you want to be same, like you have to like this one. Request this one empty request like this. Okay. So go back, undo. Okay. And after that, you have to return the response of this function. Yeah. You can termination the channel after you got the reply, and then the channel you have to shut down. Yeah.
So Chandra, he asked, how is gRPC different from REST, and how do we usually debug the response from the backend? Yeah, when you're using REST, we could use Go or Postman.
Okay. Actually, for a test to gRPC, we have to use the name is BloomRPC. So we cannot test with Postman. Yeah, actually, after this, I want to show what BloomRPC looks like, actually, but the time is now. Yeah.
If you could share a link, that would be great, and then they can head over to the links.
We cannot hit the link. So maybe I think, can I share maybe 1 minute?
Sure. Let me just add your, yep.
So yeah, this is the BloomRPC looks like. So maybe I will delete this. I close this, and then here I have to have a proto file, account with proto, and then account login. So this one, I think I cannot zoom in. By the way, sorry. Maybe let's say Martha idea.id. The password is here. So actually, the response is similar with a JSON, but actually, to get this request or to get to make a request or to get the response, you have to have a proto file. Yeah. So there is no method like REST API have a put, delete, get, post, but in gRPC they don't have that.
So Minhaj on Facebook, he says he's also a developer himself, and he wants to ask how can he accelerate himself to do his own startup. So I guess it's an inspirational question. How did you get started, Martha?
Actually, for the build the startup, you have to know the problem first. Like in this world, there are so many problems, right? So you have to solve that problems. So that's why we build the startup about maybe one problem, and then you can solve the problem. That's what I think. Yeah, I can. That's the answer.